everyone. This is Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Welcome to the One Bitcoin Show. Today is April the 3rd, 2018, and I don't have jury duty tomorrow like I thought I did. My number wasn't called. Yeah, strong hand. Buy and hold. Unconfiscatable. Lawsuit proof. Knowing you have enough comes from knowing you are enough. All right, people. Yeah, I'm wearing this shirt. I've worn it before in the colder weather, but I wanted to wear it again because AGSilverDojo.com sent me this a while back. I linked to him below if you want to see his site and his hoodies and his cool stuff. That's linked to below. Everything I talk about in this video is linked to below, and you can get a Trezor, Ledger Nano. All that stuff is linked to below. Discount codes, Meister. Yeah, that's who I am. You know how this deal goes. All right, and for all of you wondering about my schedule, because I'm going to be coming to a town near you real soon. This is important. This is important. If you're in St. Louis, I'm going to be there April 13th, 14th, and 15th. If you're in Los Angeles, I'm going to be there from April 16th until the 24th. And I will be speaking in Los Angeles on April 17th. So get your tickets below in Century City. And then I will be in Denver from April 24th to May 1st. And I'll be speaking at Denver at the World Crypto Network official event. Andy Hoffman, everybody's going to be there. April 25th in Denver. That is going to be really big. And then May 1st, I'm going to be in Portland, Oregon. I don't know how long I'm going to be there for. So that's a new one that just got added to the schedule. Maybe I'll speak there. Maybe I won't. All right. So let's talk about these exchanges, these altcoin exchanges, cryptocurrency exchanges. I mean, they are such the power brokers. They are such the kingmakers in the world of altcoins. And it's like it's a vicious cycle, sadly, that's building up here. There's all these altcoins, all these ICOs bidding up, bribing, you can say, some of these exchanges. These exchanges have huge listing fees, and they know they can do it. They have to be careful, technically, so they have to be somewhat exclusive too. Well, they've gotten some egos, some of these exchanges, and they become super exclusive, and they can name really high prices. And some say they don't, you don't have to pay to play, but apparently you do. And it's getting worse and worse. Some coins feel like there's conspiracies against them. Clearly, some of the representatives of these exchanges are saying some wild things in social media. They don't seem to have the same policy toward all the coins, and they try to say that they're being very careful and that they're trying to follow rules and regulations. But at this point, we're talking about a worldwide markets here. They're not following everybody's regulations. There's even some in the U.S. that are a little iffy. Not Coinbase and Gemini, I'll tell you that. Those dudes follow all the rules, but those aren't really altcoin exchanges anyway. But going back to this, we know that Poloniex is being bought up by a corporate entity eventually, and everything bad that they might have done in the past is being forgiven. So that is what I see as like the end stage for a lot of these altcoin, Bitcoin, cryptocurrency exchanges, whatever you want to say, call them, that they're going to get bought out by these corporate entities and forgiven, and their owners are going to become incredibly wealthy, and good for them. But that might even be worse than the current situation if we have a big consolidation under larger corporate entities. Again, I talked about it yesterday. We're going to have to figure out this decentralized exchange thing, or pray that there's going to be some entrepreneur out there that is in some country that doesn't care about U.S. regulations, that just lists every single altcoin, or there's a fast way to make sure that every altcoin is safe. And again, I'm a Bitcoin guy. But for the sake of the ecosystem, I would love for there to be an exchange that just listed every single altcoin out there. Everyone could list their altcoin on it. You could put it on there with ease. You wouldn't have to bribe anyone. The exchange would get rich because it'd be the most popular exchange. But I mean, again, the risk of never keep your coins at these exchanges. And then, some of these would become honeypots. They become hacked. And well, anyway, now I'm just talking too much. So pound that like button. All right. So moving on. One of the reasons I brought up exchanges is because of this Francis Poulot tweet. And he says, indeed, over-the-counter markets are very active these days. OTC markets. These days. Nobody wants to use Bitcoin exchanges anymore unless they really need to. Okay, so he's talking specifically about Bitcoin. But again, some of these big-time players, they don't want to deal with they don't want to deal with these egos at the exchanges. They also don't want to pump up the price of Bitcoin unnecessarily by making a tremendous buy that's, boosts the market or drops the market or whatever. So the rich are just getting richer from these OTC markets, OTC operations, exchanges, whatever you want to call them. Maybe they're trying to avoid taxes too. I don't know. But what is going on is that, these are big time players. Some of them are big time holders just trying to get large amounts. And while many of them are probably 20%ers, the 80%ers get caught in the herd. And here's some herd mentality back. Here's a tweet that shows two CNBC headlines. The herd people, the 20%, the 80%ers are like, CNBC says, Ripple, one of the hottest Bitcoin competitors. That was January 11th, the headline. And now it says, a headline from recently, Ripple is the worst performer among major cryptos in the first quarter. So, when things were hot back in January in altcoin land, those 80%ers were just, getting part of the herd on CNBC. And now CNBC, boop, they just changed their tune. Boo for Ripple. Meanwhile, the OGs, the longtime BTC holders like me, the pounders of the like button, pound that like button, people. We've had the same story all along. Bitcoin is the rock. It's the world reserve cryptocurrency. Stick with it. Don't follow these herds. Don't be an 80%er. Don't listen to CNBC craziness. I mean, they're not, just because they're the mainstream media, you might get a little buzz. Oh, they mentioned cryptocurrency. It's crypto noise, dude. It's crypto noise and that's just that tweet that it's linked to below. You can see some of that past crypto noise and how they've changed their tune recently. All right, and remember, follow me at TechBalt on Twitter and on Steemit, of course, at Bitcoin Meister. One moment. All right. So, Federico Tenga, who was on the show back in December, I believe. He's actually visited North Korea before and discussed cryptocurrency there. Anyway, he has a tweet out there with this awesome chart that you got to look at. Linked to below, of course. It's called the Holders Happiness Indicator. Since 2010, Bitcoin has been at all-time highs about 6.5% of the time. Don't let the price emotionally influence you. The road to the moon is mostly painful. So yeah, of course, it's not going to be at an all-time high in terms of dollar value very often. 6.5% of the time seems like a lot to me. I thought that was a positive. Heck. So yeah, they're going to be down markets in terms of fiat. What Federico didn't mention is that 1 Bitcoin equals 1 Bitcoin throughout that chart. You got to value your wealth in Bitcoin, people. But I did like that statistic. 6.5% of the time, Bitcoin's been at an all-time high. Look at the chart. And it's, it hangs around there a lot of the time, more often than you think also. But of course, you got to get used to, when it's down too. Well, those of us who were around in 2014 and 2015, we remember. But whatever, it gave us the strong hand, as what the shirt says, strong hand, right? Can you see that? I can't even see the video. Yeah. All right, just hold, baby. All righty. What else do we have here? Oh, and Federico also says he just wrote an article for those asking him how Bitcoin can become the main global currency in the future. I linked to it below. It's called Bitcoin and the Return of Trustless Money. All right, cool. Oh, Michael Sylvia in the super chat said, back on January 24th, you told me to buy Z Classic, bro. Well, did I tell you that? No, I didn't say buy Z Classic. I said on December 26th that Z Classic was $10. And then the next day I said I had to get some of that stuff because it was $10. Now you do understand, if you listen to the show back on December the 26th, you'd be in very good shape. I mean, because with that day, you could sell the Z Classic for more than $10 for quite some time, up till very recently, and you have all that B private. First of all, if you bought the Z Classic for anything, you have the B private. This is about long-term thinking, dudes. If you bought the Z Classic, not because Adam Meister said it's $10, you bought it because you thought that you're going to get B private that's going to be worth more than the Z Classic price right now. That's what you did. So whatever, you take personal responsibility, you bought the Z Classic for a price that you thought was less than what the B private was eventually going to be worth. So have a strong hand with your B private and wait until it's more than what you paid for the Z Classic with. But of course, you have the Z Classic laying around also, so you sell that now because it's basically worth this. Hopefully, you've already sold it, and that takes away some of the price, some of what your B private has to be. But perhaps the price you paid for the Z. Well, if you bought it on January 24th, I don't know. You're saying I told you to buy it on January 24th. Where were you in Asia with me, Michael? I didn't tell anybody on this show, oh, go out and buy it. I never said that. Never said that. But again, because I talk about Z Classic, you have to take, if you bought it, I mean, I said it's a good speculation back on December 26th when it was $10 or $15 or whatever the heck it was. And I said, what a speculation is if you're a wealthy person, if you're in good financial shape, you're willing to lose it all on a good speculation. So again, if someone took my advice, that it was a good, or not my, listening to what I said and said it's a good speculation, you better have been in good financial shape and not in debt. But again, you were willing to lose it all, and you didn't lose it all because, first of all, you had the B private. Are you just some flipper trader type of people out there, or did you believe in the B private? I mean, I think the B private is an excellent idea. And again, when you buy this stuff and you see it going up really high, you should try to cut some of your losses beforehand. I mean, try to take some profit right away. Again, this is for speculators, so you don't end up in a situation where it could crash and never go back up again. Again, this ain't a trading channel. You know that. But Michael, I thank you for the $2 super chat. It's interesting that you bring up January the 24th. I didn't tell you to buy anything, dude. Perhaps you take personal responsibility, but you do have a sad face next to that, though. So it seems that you might have thought that I told you to do so. I don't tell you to do anything, man. All right. So, but if you have your B private, have a strong hand with it. And if you're ahead on the B private, you can sell it for a profit. But if you're a long-term thinker, you're probably going to think, if you're confident in it, you're going to think it's going to go up. But again, maybe you're bringing this up because we were talking about exchanges and how there's some egos at some of these exchanges, and for some reason they don't list certain coins, and it's it's become very difficult for some. Obviously B private didn't have the easiest time of getting on. Why did Bittrex not list B private? It's a mystery. All sorts. If you heard Ty Zen on the show the other day, maybe you heard Ty Zen bring that stuff up on the show. I know the Monero V people are working really hard to get listed on these exchanges, and I know the B Rhodium people are working really hard to get listed on these exchanges, and I really hope they can do it. But man, there's a lot of nonsense going on out there. Again, people, why buy something you can get for free? That's the other thing. Everybody with the, if you bought the Z Classic and you were a Bitcoin holder, you were taking a risk there. You were gonna get you're gonna get the Be Private for free by holding the Bitcoin anyway. Anyway, let's Be Private people. They're working hard still. All the Be Private that you got for free or that you got from having Z Classic, you still have, dudes. It ain't over till it's over. Long-term thinking. Okay, so Federico, we talked about what he said. And here, speaking about altcoins, John McAfee reveals he charges $105,000 per promotional cryptocurrency tweet. So there are a lot of you that like to, I do not like the dude at all. I try not to even say the dude's name, but this one time I'm saying his name because there's so much crypto noise about him. A lot of you put him on a pedestal. A lot of you try to give him respect and think he's an important individual. And the dude is like a madman. I mean, it doesn't make sense a lot of the time. Well, here you go. You see what he's doing. When you see him mentioning an altcoin and then you blindly buy it, I mean, he's being paid $105,000 some of the time here. So again, ignore the crypto noise in general. Ignore him specifically there. Don't put the dude on a pedestal. I mean, I know he was famous before. I know he's done some wild things, some questionably wild things. But dudes, so check out that link below. That's from The Verge. He's part of the crypto noise out there, and you're gonna get in trouble. You're gonna if you buy what he's selling, you're probably gonna end up in bad shape there because he doesn't even really care what he's selling about what he's selling. All right, Tour de Meester has a very interesting tweet out there about. It says, in my opinion, and this is good. Link to below, of course. In my opinion, virtue signaling by altcoin proponents that one cares about small transactions for the unbanked is usually a straw man interpretation of the Bitcoiners' argument that value anchor layer suitable for large transaction settlement is a necessary prerequisite for payment-focused protocol layers. Okay, and you can check that link below. An example of this that he tweets out is from Vitalik Buterin of Ethereum. And Vitalik said, why the emphasis on the ability to move $400 million quickly? I personally am more interested in the ability to move $40 quickly. Economic freedom for the people and all that. All right, so yeah. Bitcoin is the world reserve cryptocurrency, okay? Cry me a river about the poor children. They can get it also, all right? They can get it also. There's going to be second layer solutions built. I mean, the Lightning Network is already being built for cheap transactions on top of that rock, on top of the golden hold Bitcoin, which is the anchor layer as Tour de Meester so eloquently put it. And, you know, when you hear these altcoin dudes, and they're not all bad dudes, just trying to virtue signal about for the children, we need cheap transactions. Oh, I don't care about rich people moving $40 million around. You know why they're doing it, okay? All right, so one last thing that I forgot to say last show. Daniel of the 21 Million Club, he gave me a little tip about Minds.com, and he says, those of you who are on Minds.com, and remember a couple shows back, I said they're trying to kind of monetize their platform with an Ethereum token or a cryptocurrency, the Minds.com token. And Daniel kind of summed it up saying they're trying to make it so instead of getting points like before, you have to register a cell number. Those that do that can get paid in Ethereum. And I think he means the Ethereum token that they're trying to do. So if you have to register your cell number in order to get their new cryptocurrency, I don't know about that. I mean, I'm not too keen. I mean, I thought Minds was supposed to be the anti-Facebook, you know, not giving up information. And so if they really want you to register your cell number in order to participate in their monetary system, I don't think I'm down with that one very much. I'm not down with that because I kept going to their site and it looks different now. And I used to be able to get the points, and now I don't get it. I haven't explored it that much. Anyway, I think I covered everything today. Remember, I'm Adam Meister, the Bitcoin Meister, the Disrupt Meister. Remember to subscribe to the channel, like this video, share this video, pound that like button, and I will check you guys out in the chat right now. See ya.